Welcome to the Groove Dudes podcast for analyzing drum beats and busting chops, breaking down grooves, all that good stuff. My name's Tabor, drumming us in. It's my main man, Cody. Today we've got a very special episode for you. I had to wear my Rush shirt because today it's all about Neil Peart. One of my favorite drummers, probably the drummer that's had the most influence on me, I'd say, because my middle name's Neil, after Neil Peart. My dad loves Rush. Yeah. I love Rush, too.
Me too, dude.
And
my dad loves Rush, dude.
Heck yeah.
Is your dad my dad, dude?
Dude, I hope not. Because
that'd be weird. We do look kind of similar, you know?
We do.
I should have worn my Rush shirt.
We're not blood related, although maybe we are.
Yeah.
And we just don't know.
You're human, right?
50%.
All right. Yeah, I don't know why I asked that. I just made you.
Me dad's a muggle, mom's a witch.
Yeah.
Nasty shock for him.
Us aren't humans, I guess. Is that how that works?
Yeah. My mom is a wonderful person. That was just a Harry Potter reference.
Did you go to the R40 tour? I can't remember if we talked about this.
I did.
Okay.
Yeah, I got to see Rush 4 or 5 times. It's hard to remember because I was really young for the first couple of shows, but I for sure saw him R40. I saw Snakes and Arrows. I saw Clockwork Angels.
Okay.
I know I at least saw those 3. And whichever one came before that, would have been Roll the Bones? No, I wasn't around then.
Yeah, I was at the...
But I love them.
I was at the R40 tour too, man. That was one of those things I was like, I got to go see them because I don't know how much longer my boy Neil's got in him. And so I'm really glad I did. You know, he's no longer with us, but awesome drummer.
Yeah. Yeah, sadly, because they stopped touring.
Like right after.
I don't think. Well, I don't think he knew he had cancer at that time.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think it had more to do with the wrists not handling touring, is what I remember hearing, and then all of a sudden he was gone.
Blows my mind the kind of stuff that Neil could do at his age, man.
Yeah,
we got to show some of that today. Well,
absolutely.
We're gonna make him look bad, probably between the two of us. Not that we're, you're great, dude, but Neil's really good. Neil means so much to me. I've heard Rush since before I was born. Literally, my dad would blare it, when I was in the womb. Yeah. And, of course, one of the great things about Neil, and it doesn't have to be this way, every drummer does their own thing, but one of the great things about Neil is he played all the parts the same, which is such a disciplined thing, right? Every song, it's the same pre-planned fill. The feel was always consistent, and just his creativity. So I have a lot of anxiety when it comes to playing his parts because that's his legacy. And I'm going to tell all the listeners right now, I don't have the parts I'm going to play today note for note, so please don't come after me. That's okay,
I feel
though,
like if you,
because I appreciate what you said though, right? Like that's his style of playing, that's his legacy, and I think there's a ton of value in doing that, right? Learning a part and not playing it your way, playing it the way they played it. Someone else played it because it forces you to think a different way. Just as well as I think there's a lot of value in making it your own and filling the gaps how you want. So I think they're both.
Absolutely.
So anyway, if Neil's rolling over in his grave, my dude, sorry. But we'll try to do you good today.
Right on. Well, I've been working on this song. It's probably, I say it's one of my favorite. It is one of my favorite Rush songs. I was going to say it's the favorite, but then you got to remember Jacob's Ladder, Camera Eye. So much good stuff exists.
It's like picking a favorite kid,
Yeah, it depends on the day and how they're acting, I guess. So no, I'm going to play some excerpts of Subdivisions.
It's the name of the song, by the way.
This track. Yes. Musical term, yes, but name of the song.
Tabor texted me that, and I was like, oh, okay. And then we met up, and I was like, oh, you mean the song Subdivision. So I thought so I was tripping for a minute, but.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, I'm just gonna kind of go. I have a couple excerpts I want to I can't talk that I want to play. So I'm just gonna kind of play drums for just a minute. Here we go.
Do it.
So that's part of the intro.
Nice,
I
dude.
love it. Such creative drumming. I don't want to hit everybody with one more. He uses it as a fill concept the entire song. It's a single stroke roll. I'll break this I'll play it and then I'll break this next one down.
All right.
It's hard to do slow on this electronic kit because I can't hear if my hi-hat is responding properly. So I probably just butchered it. But it's a single stroke roll, triplet felt. And it's just those accents. Put a kick under them. And then you split your hands back to kind of normal playing position. Da, 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 da. So right, left,
Accent
right.
those hi-hats.
Yeah. And then, I love how he uses that in fills. He'll be cruising along. I totally butchered that. That's not exactly what he played, but he keeps returning to that.
Right. It's
that
got like
idea.
A theme. It's got like a theme, right?
Yeah.
He's like a composer, and the drums are his orchestra. Yeah.
Yeah. That's exactly it. That's a huge side of what made him great. Is not only because he could play intricate stuff, but he didn't really do that for intricacy's sake.
Right.
It was all to serve the song, and a lot of Neil's drum parts were just as memorable as Alex's guitar parts. They were in of themselves hooks and riffs within the composition, which not every drummer manages to pull off. It's certainly something to aspire to.
Then on top of that, you listen to Geddy's bass lines underneath it, and I'm just like,
yeah,
like the way that it weaves in and out of the playing, because the drums are very much, I don't know. There's just this constant trade back and forth of who's kind of shifted in front a little bit in Rush's music, and it's constant. They're all doing all sorts of fancy stuff. But like you won't think about the bass line for a little bit, and then suddenly he's just and then something ridiculous. Mm-hmm. It just comes kind of out of the woodworks, floats in front, and then the drums come in with this crazy fill, and that floats in front. And Alex has got this guitar part, so it's really fun to listen to how the drums interact as a lead at the same time. You know what I mean? Yeah,
and somehow they never step on each other.
Yeah.
Which is so cool.
There's such a good example of prog rock, really. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And how you can pick these themes and you have an atypical structure in all your songs. Pretty much every single song. I don't know if I can think of one that's just really straightforward verse, chorus, bridge, chorus.
A couple. Yeah. Some of them follow that pretty well. Like you have like your Limelights and Free Wills and those sorts of things.
There's a little more to those, isn't there? No, it's not.
Yeah.
Just verse. It's like verse something, chorus. It's the same pattern. but there's like extra, you know what I mean? It's
so they're fleshed out.
Yeah.
They tell the full story because Neil is also doing the lyrics.
Right.
We gotta add too, since it's kind of a tribute pod to him. And it's kind of crazy how, I don't know if I'm making this up, but I swear I hear, a very strong connection between what the song's about and how he drums it. I'm sure, of course, that's intentional.
Yeah,
but
it's probably
really powerful stuff.
Some kind of fourth dimension,
Yeah.
There's some smart people, man. Well, nice, dude. Those are clean. Those are great. My the part that I picked, I don't know why Vapor Trails is my favorite album, because it's probably like not a very popular album.
I don't think it is. I like it.
I love it.
I like the heavier production on it.
Yeah, well, I love the ambience that it has, because there's this kind of ethereal sound throughout the whole album. It's always floating there. I don't know how to describe it, but it always kind of takes me to another place. And so I really like that album. And I got a part from Ghostwriter that I covered a long time ago, and also, again, another song that's that one's kind of poignant for Neil, because he lost his wife and daughter in a car accident.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And part of his therapy was he'd take off on his bike, on his motorcycle, and go travel.
Yeah. He would often drive from show to show, or bike from show to show on his motorcycle.
Yeah. So listen to the lyrics of this song.
Freaking rad.
Kind of like hits you. You know what I mean? It's deep, but there's a fill on here that I really like. That's very, very Neil-esque, where he's got these this almost I don't know. I don't even know if they're really triplets. They're almost. Let's see. Well, anyway, I'm going to play it for you before I screw up.
Sweet.
Trying to name another rudiment like I've done in the past. But
what's a 6-stroke roll?
All right, so this is from Ghostwriter. It's about 1:45 in or something like that. And just a cool little fill. Okay, I'll play that one more time. I just love those.
Yeah.
They're triplets. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But just the way that they flow into the accents, going down the toms, and he's got about a bajillion toms on his kit. So I don't even know which toms he's playing. But just that crack with those accents. Just
man.
Tribute, you know what I mean?
I love that. It's kind of crazy. Like, we just have these generic tom sounds going on right now, but you played that. I'm like, that sounds like Neil,
yeah.
Right? Even though your pitches aren't probably the same,
right? I don't have a full
man. You played that so well.
Keyboard's breadth of tuned toms. So that one I really like a lot. Again, it's just that whole song there's nothing flashy about that song. That's the flashiest part of Ghostwriter. The rest of it, just the bass line and the way it sounds just has kind of a contemplative feel to it.
Do you remember the main groove of the song? Is it just kind of straight 4/4, or is it do something different? Put you on the spot. Sorry.
He's doing a little more.
Hi-hat work is amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm doing like kindergarten version of whatever he's doing though. He's like, he's doing all sorts of syncopation with it, opening and closing, back and forth, and the rest of the beats pretty straightforward. But the hi-hat is doing all sorts of. So I mean, that's most of the song. The chorus is just. It's nothing flashy, and I love it. So if you want a good entry level Rush song for drums, probably this one.
Yeah,
probably hard to find those. in Neil's record.
Yeah.
There's one more I'll do. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, please. No, I was just going to say one comment. There's some things that he does that he's good at making complicated things sound more simple than they are. And then you sit down to try to play them, you're like, what the crap?
It's like that one. I'm like, oh, I'll cover the song. And I'm like, listen to the hi-hat. I'm like, well, I guess I'll do the Cody version. We'll dumb it down a smidge. I'll play the opening track on that one, which is One Little Victory. That double kick beat in the beginning is pretty good. So I'll try it. We'll see how it goes with my electric kit, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see if this makes
China
it in the
programmed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a little rough.
Such a sick groove.
A little rough at the beginning there, but the whole, just the hi-hat's just sitting there the whole time, consistent, driving on those offbeats, and he's switching up the snare groove. So he's coming in left, right, then right, left, back into the hi-hat. While with just the kick going underneath it. So,
yeah, dude, that was awesome. I said you got a China program. I was mixing that up with what is it called? Armor and Sword off of Clockwork Angels.
Oh,
I mixed up my intros, but dude, what I was thinking about when you were playing that is, Neil didn't use double bass too often, but he had the perfect use for it. I remember how exciting it was when he did.
Right.
It was like you were listening for the double kick, almost like the anticipation of this is a weird analogy, but like going and getting ice cream. Sometimes the drive and the excitement of going to get a treat or something is better than the ice cream.
Yeah.
And that's like, oh, when's Neil going to play some double bass?
Right.
Because you always want to hear him do it, because it's got his flavor to it, And then when he does, it's like, yes.
The beautiful thing about it, I was noticing today, is it doesn't sound mechanical. None of his playing sounds like a machine. You watch him play, and he looks kind of like a machine, because he's like, he's very dead on with what he's doing. But it's like it's very alive. And like you'll hear sometimes the double click flams with the snare, and sometimes it doesn't. It's not like overly. I don't know. I like that.
It's not quantized. Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyway.
I mean, his timing's impeccable, but I get what you mean. It has life to it. It's not gridded and triggered.
It's not an accident.
Nothing against triggering necessarily, but yeah.
Yeah, you talking about?
Yeah.
Don't be triggered. Don't be triggered by. So anyway,
dude.
A little bit there for Neil.
What else is there? I mean, we could go on forever, but I think that's a good wrapping place. I just want to express to all the listeners, if you're a drummer and you haven't listened to Neil Peart, you're going to be so inspired listening to this guy. Yeah. I was keeping it like positive light. You're just like, you're an idiot, man.
If you're not listening
what the heck's
to Neil
wrong
Peart,
with you?
And you're not a drummer, all right? Just kidding. No, he is kind of the godfather of drumming, I feel like, of rock drumming. You know what I mean? Kind of like how Buddy Rich is like godfather of like jazz.
Right.
I feel like Neil is the godfather of maybe prog. Prog might be a better way to put it.
Yeah. Well, he's so many people's influence. Like Mike Portnoy did a bit on him the other day. Yeah. Filmed something about how much he loves Neil.
Yeah, he's a legend.
Well, dude, this has been a lot of fun. Let's see if I could correctly say all of our socials this time. Here we go. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Groove Dudes podcast. I've been Tabor. That's Cody. And please find our podcast on GrooveDudesPod. That's at the YouTube. GrooveDudes Podcast on Facebook and Instagram. And give us a like, give us a follow, comment your favorite Neil Peart composition in the comments below. And be nice, because I know I played a lot of that wrong. We appreciate you guys. Peace out.